By the end of the lesson, I should be able to use models and rules to add integers. Vocabulary. 0 pairs. When a number and its opposite are added together, they will always equal 0. This occurs on Integer Hill when opposing teams fight and quote-unquote kill each other. Rules for Integer Hill and fighting the fight. The first one is Integer Hill is always positive. Number 2, positive integers fight negative integers. Number 3, when a positive fights a negative, they cancel out or die based on 0 pairs. Number 4, positive integers are on the same team. And number 5, negative integers are on the same team. There are 2 teams when fighting on Integer Hill. There are positives and there are negatives. There are also 3 essential questions that you need to ask yourself every single time you answer a problem. The first essential question is Integer Hill positive? Number 2 is who is going to win? And number 3 is by how many? There are 12 examples that I expect to see in your notes, so make sure that you're writing these down. Make sure also that you're drawing the picture. So I have 4 plus 7. Notice that Integer Hill is positive. The plus sign in between 4 and 7 is a plus sign, so it means the Integer Hill is positive. So on the right, I'm going to have 4 blue circles, and on the left, I'm going to have 7 blue circles. So your diagram should look like this: 4 on the left and 4 on the right. So our essential questions were, is Integer Hill positive? And it is. Who's going to win? So I have positives on the left and positives on the right. And one of our rules was that positives are on the same team. So what's going to happen when they all go to the top of the hill is that they're going to figure out that they're on the same team. So none of our people on our hill are going to fight. They're going to join forces because they're on the same team. So if I had 4 plus 7, I'm going to have the answer of 11 because all of our integers were on the same team. Number 2, I have negative 4 plus 7. I'm going to set up my picture, my diagram below by putting negative 4 on the left and a positive 7 on the right. So after drawing my diagram, I'm going to have each pair go up to the top of the hill and fight, which means there are 0 pairs and they are going to cancel out. So I have 1 negative and 1 positive, and they're going to cancel out, and they disappear at this point. I have a negative 1 and a positive 1, and they are also going to disappear. I have a negative and a positive, and they disappear. And I have a negative and a positive, and they disappear. So if I ask my question, is Integer Hill positive? My answer is yes. Who is going to win? I know that positives are going to win because they had more people on their team. They have 3 more people on their team than the other team of negatives had. So when I'm adding negative 4 plus 7, I'm looking to see who has more people on their team. So the positives had more people on their team, and because of 0 pairs and they cancel out, they have more people on their team by 3. So my final answer is going to be 3. 9 plus negative 6. We're going to ask the questions without drawing a diagram this time. So if I have a positive 9 on the left and a negative 6 on the right, so there are 9 positives and 6 negatives. So we have to ask ourselves, who's going to win? Who has more people on their team? Are there more positives on their team, or are there more negatives on the negative team? So you do not have to draw this, but I just wanted to show you. Look on the positive side. There are 9 blue circles over here on the left, and there are 6 red circles over here. So if those were representing people, I would say that positives have more people on their team. How many more do they have on their team? So if I took this column of 3s and this column of blues, those are 0 pairs, they cancel out. This column of blues with this column of reds, and I would say that the positive teams have 3 more than the negative teams. So that's going to be my answer. I'm going to have an answer of positive 3. -1 plus -5. The essential questions. The first one is integer hill positive? And it is. We have a plus sign. So I'm putting -1 on the left and -5 on the right. If I have these all red, are they going to fight? And the answer is no, because when they go to the top of the hill, they're going to soon figure out that they're on the same team. So they're going to join forces. They're not going to fight. There is no canceling out. So I have a -1 and a -5. They're going to join, and their team name is negative. And how many are there? There are 6. So my final answer is going to be -6. So I've created the picture already for us. So on the left, we have -11. And on the right of integer hill, we have +8. So looking at the diagram and looking at the expression, is integer hill positive? Yes, there's a plus sign in between the 2 integers. Number 2 is who's going to win? Who has more people on their team? And 11, the negatives have more people on their team. How many more negatives on their team are there? So if I started at 8 and counted to 11, so 8, 9, 10, 11. So that means that negatives are going to win. Negatives are going to win by how many? 3. If I did my 0 pairs, right, I have 4 blue on the right that are going to cancel out with 4 red on the left. I have 4 red on the left that are going to cancel out with 4 on the blue. And when I delete 0 pairs, look, I do. I have 3 negatives remaining. 12 plus -12. I've provided you with the visual already. Is integer hill positive? Yes, because we have a plus sign in between 2 integers. So I have 12 positive on the left and 12 negative on the right. This one's kind of tricky, but if I have these 3 blue ones go with these 3 red, and these 3 blue ones go with these 3 red, and these 3 blue ones go with these 3 red, and these 3 blue ones go with these 3 red. So the positives are fighting the negatives. And what happens when they get paired up? It's a 0 pair property. So they're going to disappear. How many are left? 0. Because when they fight, they cancel out. And if we had an even amount on both sides, 12 positive fighting 12 negatives, then we have no one surviving the 0 pair property.